Hey guys, today we're gonna finish off our supporting schedules, and yeah, we'll see if the time permits. I'll go over some of the accounts that we're not going to project out. I mean, we're going to project out, but they're gonna be pretty easy to handle because there's still some items left that we didn't make a schedule for. But more or less, we're gonna have. I think we're gonna have diluted shares, investment in affiliates, and minority and interest. Those are the three that we have left. Then we're gonna move into our cash flows. So our treasury shares and repurchase. Now we're gonna build a schedule for our diluted shares outstanding, and the reason I concluded the video over here is because this is probably one of the most different schedules than the ones that we were doing the last video. So what are we going to do in this particular case? Well, treasury shares repurchase. Now we're going to take several things into consideration in order to come to our weighted average basic shares outstanding, and through this we're going to link up several items into the account. So first we're going to find our treasury repurchases, share repurchases, and we're going to find this on our 10K, which is over here. So, and typically is going to be on the equities equity statement, which is going to be over here. Statement of equity or retained earnings is very comprehensive, as you can see. Now, we're only dealing with 05 and 06. So, when we look at 05, let me zoom in. When we look at 05, we're going to go to treasury stock acquired. That means the stock, the number of shares that we acquired, and the value of it. In this case, it is going to be 796.2. That's the number that 796. 96.2. Let me see if that's right. I'm gonna teach you guys something wrong. Yeah. Now I forgot to do one thing. 796.2. There. And the reason this is negative is because, well, we're repurchasing stock, right? This is the money that we're spending. Okay. Next we're going to do is I should stop doing that. Okay. It's going to be 06, which is going to be treasury stock acquired 88.4.7. 88.4 point, actually, negative 88.4.7. There. Okay. Let me just make sure there. That's perfect. Okay. So how are we going to project this out? Well, we don't have any information. Like, let's just say that we don't have any information. What are different ways we could do? Well, we could straight line them, saying that we don't have any information, so we just straight lined it. We can average that out, take it our best guess. But let's just say that you're working for IB or investment bank, and you're actually going to have a chance to talk to the client. So you call up the client and you tell them, okay, I just need a little bit more information. Or you sit in on a conference call, which happens typically around the clock. If you ever get on Thinkorswim, you'll see these little icons that say it's conference calls, and you can actually sit through them and whatnot. You'll have different people asking the management questions. Well, in this case, we do have a transcript of this is a transcript of the conference call that took place for Colgate. And within this transcript, we find a lot more information, gives us more color on what's going on. This is obviously uploaded on Dropbox. So, as we read through this, we just see a conversation between the CEO and the analyst. And if you just read through this, obviously some of this information you can use for yourself. It says over here, okay. Cash, we expect operation cash flow next year to be up double digit, and do you think you'll spend more or less share repurchase in 07 versus 06? Okay, so the person is asking them what is going to be the share repurchase for 07, and the CEO says the expectation we will have available perhaps just under $1 billion for share repurchase for any small odd acquisitions that we might make. None are being planned, which indicates that we would probably buy back about the same in 07 as we did in 06. He said typically if there's an acquisition, we go about that route. But if we do not have an acquisition, which is that's usually the case, he said that, well, we're just gonna use around the same number as 06, and the analyst says so 850, and he says yep 850. So we're gonna use 850. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, this is not 850. What is he saying? Well, this is just the analyst is just making a. It's really hard to explain. What he's saying is that the purchase plan has around 850 buybacks, right? So that's what he said 850 for. So we'll say 850. There you go. And then we're just going to write 850 again, because we're making an assumption. We're making an assumption now. We're just gonna straight line it because that's the only information we had, right? Remember, like I said, modeling is more art than science, so you can put your own assumptions in here depending on how much knowledge or how much evidence you have. So value of shares issued. Where do we find that number? Well, if you go back to your 10K, go back to our retained earnings, and go to 05, we see shares issued for stock options. Okay, this is a number we're going to use, not common stock, but shares issued for stock options. These are the shares that are going to be issued. Over here is 61.2. 61.2. Over here is going to be 227.7. 227.7. Okay, so what assumption we can make here? Well, typically we can make an assumption, maybe just say 227.7, saying that we don't know, we don't have any information, so we're gonna hold this constant. There. Now, expected average share price. Now, there's several ways to do this. You can just go on Bloomberg and get a random price, but typically what's the best way to do this is to take a 52-week trading period of a particular stock, find its high and low, and average it out. So that's what we did. We just we're going to find an average. Now, I'm going to save you guys